Kieran Tierney has just spoken out about the Green Brigade ban, and what he's saying is massive. Plus, Celtic's cash reserves have been confirmed. Chris Sutton names his ideal next manager, and he absolutely slams one Celtic star. It's been a huge 24 hours at Celtic Park. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Kieran Tierney has admitted he hopes the Green Brigade's long-running absence from Celtic Park can come to an end as the club heads into a dogfight for the title. The Ultras group have now been banned for several months. What was initially communicated as a 6-game suspension was later changed to an indefinite ban, and as the middle of February passes, there has still been no clarity on when or if they will return to the North Curve. It has meant playing a significant portion of the season without one of the most vocal sections of their support, and for Celtic stars like KT, it has been particularly noticeable. The left-back has always had a strong connection with the Ultras and is now spending his first season back at the club without their presence behind the goal. Tierney grew up attending matches alongside members of both the Green Brigade and Boys Celtic and has maintained contact with supporters throughout their absence. Speaking ahead of Celtic's crucial end of season stretch, he made clear how much the atmosphere at Celtic Park can influence games. "I would love the atmosphere to be the best it could be because the run-in is going to be tough. Everyone knows how the atmosphere can be at Celtic Park and how much it can help us, so I'd look forward to that. I have known them for years going to the games when I was younger. When I went to the games, I wanted to create an atmosphere as well, so I have a good relationship with them. What messages have I had? Just things like keep going and that we need to fight. I saw a banner against Livingston saying fight to the end, and I think that's the message every supporter would give to the players if they could speak to us. We know everyone is backing us and supporting us, so we're going out there doing our best." With Celtic facing a relentless schedule in the coming weeks, the hope among players and supporters is that some form of resolution can be found. Sometimes that corner can give the players a life when they need it most, especially with Celtic having to find last-minute goals in recent weeks. Now for the main story, as Celtic remain among the wealthiest clubs in the UK, a position few football sides can realistically claim, even compared with many in the Premier League. It is rare for clubs to sit on tens of millions of pounds in the bank, but Celtic's long-term financial management has left them in an extremely strong position. Supporters are often told that this reserve is being held back for a rainy day. Many would argue that rain has already fallen, but there is a looming risk that the real downpour could arrive in the summer if Celtic again fail to secure UEFA Champions League football. Despite that, the numbers remain healthy, as they showed in their interim report. Celtic were forced into unexpected costs earlier this season, paying compensation to prize Wilfried Nancy away from Columbus Crew, only to then dismiss him weeks later. That decision brought further payouts to Nancy and his backroom staff, while the absence of Champions League income removed a revenue stream that is normally hugely lucrative for the club. Even with those pressures, Celtic's balance sheet has held firm. In their latest financial update released on Friday, Celtic confirmed a period-end cash figure of £67.4 million, up from £65.4 million at the same stage the previous year. Those figures cover the period up to the 31st of December. The numbers underline just how robust Celtic's finances remain, even during a season of instability on the pitch and in the dugout. It should allow the club to push for a top manager this summer and give him the funds he needs to complete a rebuild, which will arguably be bigger than what Ange's first window saw. The challenge ahead is ensuring that strength off the pitch translates into success on it, particularly with Champions League qualification once again hanging in the balance. In other news, Chris Sutton believes Celtic do not need to look far and wide in their search for a new permanent manager, insisting the right man for the job is already working in the Scottish Premiership. The former Celtic striker was on commentary duty in midweek as Motherwell outplayed Rangers, but could only manage a point after Stephen Welsh grabbed the equaliser for the home side. But it was Motherwell's overall performance that really caught his attention. Celtic's managerial situation has been anything but straightforward this season. Brendan Rodgers handed in a shock resignation in October, prompting Martin O'Neill to step in on a temporary basis. The club then moved to appoint Wilfried Nancy, but that decision unravelled quickly. A run of poor results, including 12 dropped league points, led to his dismissal, and O'Neill was once again asked to steady the ship until the end of the campaign. With the summer approaching, Celtic are expected to make another attempt at a long-term appointment. Names have circulated, including Roberto Martinez, who is set to leave his role with Portugal after the World Cup and has close ties to Celtic coach Sean Maloney from their time together with Belgium. Sutton, however, is convinced the answer is much closer to home. Writing in the Record Sport, He said he believes Motherwell boss Jens Berthel Asko would be an outstanding fit for Celtic. I'm now convinced Jens Berthel Asko would be a great fit for Celtic. You want his Motherwell team, and you can't help but be impressed. They are arguably the best side to watch in the country. He's managed to build a team that is solid defensively, superbly maintains possession and creates chances, and all on a fraction of the money spent at other clubs. It's been a remarkable job. I've never seen a Scottish team do what Motherwell has done this season, and that's dominate against Celtic and Rangers. Usually teams set up to try to stop the Glasgow clubs playing. Instead, it's been the other way around this year. I've also been impressed with the way he communicates in the media. He just ticks so many boxes for me. It's hard to know what Dermot Desmond will be thinking, as he's shown in the past he's capable of making bold, big-name appointments, like Brendan Rodgers and O'Neill first time around. There's been a lot of talk around Martinez, and that's been there for a number of years now, but I just think there is a guy on Celtic's doorstep who is showing a lot of positive attributes to be a success at the club. It would be fascinating to see how he would do with more resources. Whether Celtic look abroad again or turn to a standout performer within the league remains to be seen. But in Sutton's eyes, the next Celtic manager may already be proving himself every week, just down the road. In other news, Chris Sutton has delivered a brutal assessment of Reo Hatate, claiming the midfielder is now barely worth a place in the Celtic squad as concerns grow over his form and attitude. It was not long ago that Hatate was bossing games on the European stage and looked one of the first names on the team sheet. At his peak, he was central to Celtic's midfield, dictating tempo and producing big moments in big matches. The contrast with his current situation could hardly be sharper. Under Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney, Hatate has found starts increasingly hard to come by. The preferred midfield balance has seen Benjamin Nygren and Arne Engels operating ahead of Callum McGregor, leaving Hatate reduced to cameos from the bench. When those chances have arrived, he has struggled to impose himself in the way he once did. There may yet be an opening. With Engels sidelined and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain still building match fitness, Hatate could be handed more minutes in the coming weeks. Sutton, however, is far from convinced that will lead to a revival. Speaking to Record Sport, the former Celtic striker questioned both Hatate's form and his body language. I'm less optimistic about Reo Hatate's chances of staying in the side, Sutton said. He was poor for the penalty against Livingston, and his form has taken a major dip in general. Hatate looks to me as if he's in a strop, like he doesn't want to be there. If he is, I can tell him that O'Neill simply won't have it. He'll be out of the team. O'Neill has no time for players skulking around. Hatate might think he should be elsewhere, but he needs to realise prospective clubs will be scouting him right now. Will they be impressed with what they are seeing? Unlikely. It's in Hatate's interest to get the head down and help drive Celtic towards this title, otherwise there's not going to be much of a stampede for his services. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.